All right. So the presidential election is a long way away, but that's not stopping pollsters from asking this question. If the election were held today, who would you vote for? Oh, jeez. This guy or this guy? This guy's Scott Brown from Massachusetts. Do we know anything about this guy other than he just, took Ted Kennedy's seat? Is that, would you vote for him or for Barack Obama? We know this guy. The election is not today. It is actually 1,014 days away. A lot can happen in 1,000 days. President Obama could invent a potato chip-powered car and the world could end. But pollsters have to do something in the meantime, so that's how they can make this matchup and ask this question. Look at this number. Barack Obama, 46.5. Scott Brown, you don't know him. 44.6. With a margin in error, that's a statistical dead heat. Now, what is this? This is the Barack Obama, John McCain matchup, really. John McCain didn't even exist. It was really George W. Bush to about half the country. They're like, anybody but those guys. So we voted for him. He didn't even tell us what he was about. What do you know? Hope and change. What does that mean? Can you give me a policy? Nothing. Did you know? If you voted for him, did you know he was going to do this? I did. So here he is, Scott Brown. Do you know anything about him other than he drives a pickup truck? Oh, sure, he may be wonderful, but let's not make the same mistakes that we made in the past by going for the R or the D or just the other guy. Let's make sure we learn about these candidates before we support them. But the media is painting everybody, because he's a Tea Party candidate, anybody who's a Tea Party candidate, that's the fringe hard right. They're radicals. Really? Because it seems like those are the people that people are flocking to. Mark Rubio, beating Charlie Crist. Mark Rubio, 47-44. Pennsylvania, a guy who's unwinnable. Pat Toomey, stomping Arlen Specter, 45-31. Danny Tarkanian is beating Nevada's Harry Reid by 52-41, but Danny, no offense, I think a shoehorn could beat Harry Reid at this point. In Illinois, Patrick Hughes is behind Mark Kirk by a wide margin. But watch this. Here's Mark Kirk. He is the Republican, but he is the traditional Republican. Sure, he's got 42%. Patrick Hughes has 9%, but 39% are still undecided. Democrats are in danger now of losing Dodd's seat. They, only because of those crazy right-wing Tea Party people that are on the fringe. Yeah, I've never seen a fringe with so much power. In Connecticut, let's see who the real radicals are with another game of compare and contrast, okay? I've just got some quotes here. Our constitutional rights must always be protected and never threatened. This includes an individual's right to bear arms. Gun bans are unconstitutional and must be overturned and stopped. Yeah, that's crazy talk. Where's Hughes? Which one's Hughes? This is Hughes, isn't it? That's crazy talk. That's the guy in Illinois. Let's see. We simply cannot continue. This warning, if you have children, cover their ears. We simply cannot continue to allow our federal government to borrow, spend, and bail out entire industries at the expense of future generations. Oh, another radical. Danny Tarkanian. Okay. We all deserve access to the world's best health care. This can only be accomplished by reforming the system in ways that gives more control to patients and doctors, not government and insurance. That is, can I tell you something? That's so hateful. I don't even know how Pat Toomey can even get away with saying it anymore. Gee, can't we shut down his freedom of speech? I firmly believe the stimulus has not only failed to stimulate the economy, but it has actually had the opposite effect by acting like an anchor holding down and preventing a quicker recovery. Oh, why don't we just put him in a pointy hood, Mark Rubio? It's weird, huh? Isn't it? Now, here's the other side. The idea of nationalizing banks is not comfortable, but I think we've gotten so many toxic assets spread throughout the banking and financial community throughout the world that we're going to have to do something that nobody's ever envisioned. Which one's radical? Which one's radical? That's the radical progressive there. I love Lindsey Graham. You're an embarrassment, Lindsey. Employers and employees should form partnerships. They should find better ways to share in the wealth, and I think America will be a better place. Yes, we should. We should share the wealth with the union bosses. Remember, these guys are scary, out-of-control radicals. These guys are not. I have to side with Justice Breyer's view of the Constitution that it's not static, but rather a living document and must be read in the context of an ever-changing world. You are so right. Let's forget about what the founders said. They were just doing it for them on that day. It's time for a new beginning to end an end to government of the few, by the few, and for the few. Time to reject the idea of you're on your own society and replace it with shared responsibility for shared prosperity. Oh, you could be a union organizer, but instead you're Secretary of State. And the last one, policy for the most part has been made by white people in America, not by people of color, and they have tended to take care of those things that they think are important, whether it's their agricultural subsidies or other kind of expenditures that are certainly not expenditures for poor people or for people of color. You evil white people. It's a good thing she's here to... Which one, America? Which side has the radicals? Progressives or the Tea Parties? Back in a minute.